David Blaustein is just crawling in from the late night parties in Hollywood. Boy, what a tough job you've got, David. Happy Oscar night.
Thank you. Don't laugh. It's true. Nobody can top me.
It's true.
What else are we going to do today?
Well, listen, I got to ask you about the award. First of all, congratulations on pulling the short straw and having to cover the Oscars.
The all-nighter, right.
Must have really been hard for you.
Yeah, it was a little rough.
The whole point of this thing is to give out awards, right? And to honor the best actor, best actor. It seems to me that every year, it's like it's already a fait accompli. You already know who's going to win these things. There were very few surprises last night, right?
Well, actually, I want to take issue with what you said. The whole point of the Oscars is for Hollywood to give itself a big, big, big hug and a very long kiss.
All right.
It's actually the point of the Oscars. But yet they have become relatively predictable. And last night's show, a little bit of an exception. You could say it was predictable because everybody thought Argo was going to win by the time we got to the Oscars.
Yeah.
And everybody knew Daniel Day-Lewis was going to win.
Everybody agreed on that.
And Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
But unless you're me, because I thought Christoph Waltz was going to win, that wasn't predictable.
You know what that was? I have to. You're right. That is the one surprise. Featured actor in Django, and he was brilliant.
Yeah, he was brilliant. But by the way, I really did. I went on record and I predicted that he would win. And same thing with Ang Lee. You know, a lot of people were all about Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg's going to win. But for me personally, and I don't mean to make this all about me, but if I was going to replace one director in that category with Ben Affleck, it would have been Steven Spielberg. And not to say that Lincoln is a bad movie, because Lincoln's an excellent movie. It's just not a movie that deserved to be Best Picture. And I don't even think it was a top 5 movie, to tell you the truth. And, then you go with Daniel Day-Lewis, who I love, is a great actor. And yesterday, or last night, if you will, he became the first person to ever win Best Actor 3 times, despite the fact that he sounded like Dana Carvey's angry old man throughout the whole movie.
Well, and here he is accepting, which I thought was a very classy and quite humorous speech.
And I'm so grateful to the Academy for this beautiful honor. It's a strange thing because 3 years ago, before we decided to do a straight swap, I had actually been committed to play Margaret Thatcher.
It was pretty funny. He seems like one of those actors where everyone was happy for him, and that's a rare thing in Hollywood, isn't it? Especially when somebody wins 3 times in a row. Aren't there a lot of people who are jealous?
I don't know. I mean, there probably are people who are jealous, but everybody loves DDL, man. I mean, he really is the greatest actor of his generation. Yeah. And you saw that last night. And not just that. I mean, he's clearly charming. Every time he gives an acceptance speech, it's funnier than the last acceptance speech that he gave. And he came backstage, same thing. He's just simply so disarming. And, I cover celebrities for a living, and, what you'll hear a lot is he's so down to earth.
Yeah.
But you know something? Daniel Day-Lewis really is down to earth.
Yeah.
And he should be the model for all actors, because he is not about Hollywood. He's about doing a great job. People might make fun of him for being method. That's how he gets through the day. That's how he does his job. That's why he has 3 Oscars. That's why he's Daniel Day-Lewis. Why begrudge that?
No, I admire the guy. And by the way, I really liked Lincoln.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a very interesting movie, and I thought it was a tremendous performance.
Yes.
It got a little political though last night, as it seems it always does when the Oscar for the Best Picture came not from someone in Hollywood, but somebody at the White House. What was the response in the room, and has there been any talk about that today?
Nobody's really talking about that much.
We have been.
You've been, of course, but around here, it's impressive. I mean, it could have been anybody, I guess, but it was the First Lady, and the way in which it was presented. The first thing I thought was I got excited because my favorite movie is Beasts of the Southern Wild. And Michelle Obama's been on record saying her favorite movie of the year was Beasts of the Southern Wild. So I was thinking, maybe this is a little conspiratorial, and perhaps she's there because they're going to give it to Beasts of the Southern Wild. But I don't know if they would have planned it that way regardless. You could make it political if you want, and I suppose everything is political in a sense, But it's being perceived as here as just a really cool, great surprise because they were able to keep it a secret. The amazing thing is being able to keep it a secret because there are very few secrets in this town.
All right, one other thing. When Ben Affleck got the Oscar for the Best Picture, it sort of came across to me as he was just being awful whiny. I mean, it almost even wasn't. It was like, okay, we got the Best Picture, but he was still sort of holding the grudge about the fact that he wasn't nominated for Best Director.
Well, I think it probably it hurt him. It hurt Ben.
Oh, poor Ben.
Poor Ben. He's married to Jennifer Garner. He's made more money than God. He's been
by the way, I want you to know that Jennifer Garner was sitting literally 3 feet behind me in the press room, sitting down, taking pictures of Ben when he was backstage with Grant Hesloff and George Clooney talking to the press.
Jeez, when I grow up, I want to be David Blaustein of ABC News because you've got the gig, man. Wow, how exciting was that for you?
I don't blame you. To be honest, it wasn't that exciting. It was just cool.
David, can I ask you about the show, though, really quickly? Because it is the show itself should be an entertainment. We're supposed to be entertained by it. What was the feeling there? Because I was reading a lot on Twitter and in social media that the show was falling flat. What did you think?
It was too long. I mean, it's the same complaint every year. They really could do away with cutting out some of the fat. We don't need to see Best Sound Editor. We don't need to see Best Sound Mixing. It's not necessary. They really should take the technical awards away from the telecast. They do that with the Grammys, and some of the numbers went on too long. Seth MacFarlane getting some mixed reviews. I'm pro Seth. I will always be Team Seth. I thought he pretty much did a great job, even when he was bombing, even when he was offending people. I thought he was still great. But, that opening number was 19 minutes long.
Yeah, it was long.
It did not need to be 19 minutes long. But,
listen, cut that before you cut Sound Editor. I'm pro Sound Editor. That's what I am. All right,
because
Seth.
we're radio people.
Yeah, exactly.
Look, as much as I love my Pro Tools and Adobe Audition, I don't need to see Sound Editor.
All right. David, thank you so much for hanging up late, staying up late to be with us.
And my recommendation, Bloody Marys and Visine. You'll be fine.
All right.
Thank you.